If you've ever stood at the BMX start gate with your heart pounding, your palms sweating, and your legs feeling super tight, let me tell you right now, you are not weak. And you are definitely not the only one feeling it. Most riders don't lose races from a lack of effort. They lose them because their training is simply missing a system. You see, nerves aren't a sign that you're unprepared for the sport. They just mean your preparation needs a deliberate blueprint. So, in this explainer, we're breaking down a smarter BMX training system that takes that nervous energy and turns it into razor-sharp race day readiness.
We all know that little voice, right? What if I mess this up? A lot of riders think confidence is just this magical thing that appears before a race. But based on the training frameworks we're digging into today, confidence actually comes from the right kind of preparation. You can't just cross your fingers and hope it all clicks when the gate drops.
So it really comes down to how we view those nerves. We've got to completely reframe them. Look at this comparison right here. On one side, we have nerves as chaos. That's unmanaged, scattered energy where you're basically fighting your own body. But on the flip side, we have nerves as channeled energy. That's focused, familiar readiness. Race nerves are not something you need to suppress. It's just natural adrenaline. And when you have a solid system in place, that adrenaline becomes the exact fuel that powers your focus.
To build that channeled energy, we're going to walk through a highly actionable 5-part modular BMX training system. We'll hit technical skills, start and speed work, strength and mobility, mental rehearsal, and finally, recovery and review. Let's jump straight into the first pillar.
Part 1 is technical skills, which is all about isolating your core movements. The ultimate goal of technical mastery is finding your flow. Flow is when your timing, rhythm, and balance match the track perfectly, letting you essentially surf the dirt without even pedaling. You know, a lot of nervousness on the track actually comes from uncertainty, and uncertainty comes from weak repetition. We have to stop just riding random laps and hoping for the best. Instead, we build flow through drills like pumping, where you use your body as a human suspension system. You compress into the dips and extend up the rises to generate speed purely from momentum.
Now, to actually achieve that flow, you need a physical foundation. Coach Paulus, in his Diary of a BMX Superhero series, breaks down 3 dynamic riding positions that make up the skeleton of your style. First up is the ready position. Think of this as your home base, standing tall but relaxed. Next is the attack position, your go mode, chest lowered, elbows bent like a coiled spring ready to snap. And finally, the recovery position, which is your quick reset. Your body has to memorize these 3 positions until transitioning between them is completely automatic. You shouldn't even have to think about it.
All right, moving to Pillar 2, start and speed work. This is where we master the gate and dial in those race lines.
Every single race begins with a launch, and it's won by keeping momentum alive through the track's puzzle. That brings us to the rocket start sequence. Step 1 is balance and reset. You hold your position to completely relax your body before any movement happens. Step 2 is time the drop. You launch by driving through your legs and arms at the exact same time. And step 3, 3 power strokes. It's this smooth chain reaction from your brain straight to your feet, ending with 3 crisp pedals before you settle into your race stance. Remember, acceleration is balance in motion. Too much brute push without stability is just wasting your energy.
Once you're off the gate, speed efficiency takes over. The golden rule here? Momentum is king. Never, ever waste it by braking when you don't have to. You want to transfer energy smoothly using the terrain. Keep reminding yourself that smooth is fast. Keep your eyes up too, because vision leads motion. Your bike goes where your eyes go. And finally, reduce body resistance by staying aerodynamically compact. The absolute fastest line isn't about brute force. It's about reading the terrain like a map of energy and playing it smart. Let's transition over to Pillar 3, strength and mobility. This is where we build the machine off the track. Race readiness requires physical conditioning that goes way beyond just riding your bike. When we map our on-track goals to off-track training, we can look at Bond Training's approach for a great example. They use programs like MTB Dryland for what they call anatomical adaptation. Basically, that means preparing your body for higher loads during the off-season so you stay injury-free. They also use hybrid power sessions to refine piloting skills and boost stamina. You have to put the gym work in to make the bike work, ensuring you've got the raw strength to handle those tight berms safely.
Moving right along to the 4th pillar, mental rehearsal, cultivating that champion mindset. Look, pressure triggers a fight-or-flight response, and that spike of adrenaline can completely steal your precision. So how do we train the mind to handle it? With this specific string of numbers right here, 426. This is a breath control reset technique you use right before you ride. You inhale for 4 seconds, hold it for 2 seconds, and exhale for 6 seconds. That longer exhale actually tricks your nervous system into calming down. It lowers your heart rate and converts all that anxious, scattered energy into a super stable, laser-like focus.
Once you're calm, you move right into the focus circle routine. First, you block out distractions by visualizing a literal circle of bright energy around you. Second, inside that circle, you visualize your perfect run. See every jump, every corner. Third, you feel the motion mentally without actually moving your body. You are literally programming your brain with a victory before the real race even begins. Why? Because the brain responds to vividly imagined events almost exactly like real physical ones. It's wild, but it absolutely works.
And that brings us to the fifth and final pillar, recovery and review, or as I like to call it, the science of getting better.
You really need to treat your training like you're a character in a video game collecting XP or experience points. The mandate here is simple. Keep a training diary. By keeping a log of your daily missions, recording your reflections, and noting the specific drills you nailed or struggled with, you are actively building muscle memory and long-term confidence. It takes that vague feeling of, I rode okay today, and turns it into measurable, structured progress.
So what exactly goes into that diary? You use a post-run focus check. Right after a lap, you pause silently for 10 seconds. Ask yourself, okay, what went right? Then ask, what can improve? The absolute key here is rule number 4. Use non-emotional observation. You have to resist harsh judgment words like terrible or bad. Actually, scratch that. Just ban those words entirely. Replace them with objective feedback like, I had a late start, or I pumped a little too early. This keeps your mindset constructive instead of destructive.
Let's step back and look at the big picture for a second. Fast doesn't mean harder, it means smarter. This quote hits the nail on the head and perfectly sums up the core thesis of our explainer today. By combining technical isolation, speed efficiency, off-track strength, mental rehearsal, and objective review, a rider evolves from a state of chaotic panic on the start line to true strategic mastery.
Which leaves us with one final, empowering question to think about before you grab your helmet and hit the track. What do you want your ride to say today? Because when you have a smarter system in place, you're no longer just surviving the track. You're expressing your own unique, confident flow. Take these tools, build your system, and go channel that energy.